What goes up must eventually come down, and this holds true even for the famous Rolex brand. We'll explore why Rolex watch prices have gone down, and we'll figure out why this happened. See what it means for people who love watches, and share some useful tips for those thinking about buying or investing in Rolex watches. Stay with us till the end to uncover the hidden reasons behind Rolex's price changes, and learn how it can help you in case you're thinking about getting a Rolex or investing in one. As you know, the prices of Rolex watches used to be high, but now they've dropped significantly, about 30% less than they were in 2022. Some Rolex models used to be extremely expensive, and people were paying a ton of money for them at auctions. But now the prices of Rolex watches are going down, and we're wondering what this means for the future of Rolex. Well, in the last months of 2023, the prices of used Rolex watches went down in the market, where people sell them again after owning them. At the same time, other brands like Cartier and Omega did better in terms of their prices. This cautious approach has been going on even though Rolex prices went up drastically in 2021 and the beginning of 2022. During the pandemic, prices for pre-owned Rolex, Patek, and other famous watches went high when people were reselling them. And I think you already know why, right? You're right, the high demand for Rolex watches in the resale market drives up prices due to limited availability and strong brand reputation. After all of this, in April 20th, 2022, Rolex prices started going down tremendously, and this happened because of a mix of reasons, including higher interest rates and problems with cryptocurrencies. Now let's delve into recent developments at Rolex. Fluctuations in supply and the establishment of new factories. The world of Rolex watches is changing because there are now more of them being made and more factories where they're produced. Rolex has been making more watches lately because more people want to buy them. This increase in supply is good as it helps to meet the demand for Rolex watches, but it's also making their prices go down. One reason fewer people are buying luxury watches like Rolex is because interest rates are going up and people are spending less on things they don't need, like electronics, furniture, and clothes. Interestingly, some mid-tier luxury watches, like the ones from Omega, are actually getting more expensive, even more than fancy Swiss watches. Now, people are looking for rare and undervalued watches, and they like smaller-sized ones more. Even though the demand for watches has gone down a bit, Rolex is making more watches than ever before. They used to make around 800,000 to 1 million watches a year, and they're still doing that. In fact, they're building new factories and plan to send even more watches out, especially to Asia where people want them. The introduction of the Rolex Certified Pre-Owned program. Rolex has adapted to the changing market by introducing a program where they certify pre-owned watches. Authorized dealers now sell pre-owned Rolex watches that have been carefully checked and fixed up by Rolex themselves. This makes it easier for people to buy and sell used Rolex watches. Because of this program, the competition among sellers in the used watch market has gone up, and that's making the prices go down. These certified used watches come with a bunch of new paperwork, which makes them even more valuable. But Rolex doesn't decide how much these watches should cost. It's up to each seller to set the price. Because of this, sellers are trying to outdo each other by lowering their prices, which is good news for people looking to buy one. Race to the bottom in prices. More and more dealers are jumping into the market for certified pre-owned Rolex watches, and that's making the competition harder. Some sellers are even pricing their certified used watches at 50% more than what the regular used ones cost for the same model. But because everyone's trying to outdo each other, it's actually making the prices for all pre-owned Rolex watches go down. This competitive pricing thing is creating a cycle where prices keep going lower and lower. But the good news is, if you're looking to buy a Rolex watch, this trend is on your side because it means you can get one for a lower price. Now, let's look at the factors related to the watch market. The collapse of the bubble in the luxury watches market. During the pandemic, many investors turned to luxury watches as a safe place to put their money. This caused the demand and prices for these watches to shoot up, and they reached their highest point in early 2022. But as the economy started to slow down and worries about prices going up, inflation increased. Investors started selling their watches. This made the prices of these watches drop. The highest point for Rolex watch prices was in February 20th, 2022, when they reached $60,000. However, by the end of the year, they had fallen to $36,000, and now they're around $34,000. This big drop happened because there was a kind of bubble in the watch market. Some investors bought Rolex watches thinking they could make tons of money from them, and that made the demand and prices go up unrealistically. When the bubble burst, not as many people wanted these Rolex watches, especially the professional models. Even though the prices for some watches, like ones from Patek Philippe, Audemars Piguet and Rolex, are still higher on the secondary market where people sell watches again than what they originally cost, there has been numerous talk on Wall Street about the Federal Reserve, the folks who control the money, raising interest rates. This could mess up the US economy and the stock market. Because of this, the market for luxury watches has gone down since March 20th, 2022. In fact, a comprehensive index that keeps track of the prices of 60 watches from famous brands like Rolex, Patek Philippe and Audemars Piguet has fallen by 32%, restoring balance and standardization in the market. This trend is good news for buyers, as lower prices are helping the market to get back to normal. The Rolex prices going down is like the market fixing itself after the bubble burst, and it's happening slowly instead of all at once. Other luxury watch brands like Omega and Vacheron Constantin are also seeing their prices go down. Interestingly, Cartier is different from the others. Its prices are staying more stable and not following the same trend of going down. As for Rolex's plans for the future, it's still unclear what they'll do. Changing consumer preferences. I know some of you may not agree with me in this, but it's really affecting the luxury watch market, as the younger generation doesn't seem as excited about luxury watches as the older generation, partly because they prefer smartwatches and other tech gadgets. Because of this, the demand for Rolex watches has gone down compared to before. If you're thinking about getting a Rolex, whether it's a good time depends on your reason. If you just want one for yourself and you'll be happy having it, it's never a bad time. Rolex watches always hold their value, and changes in the market shouldn't stop you. But if you're trying to make quick money by buying a Rolex as an investment, it's not a great idea because the market can be unpredictable at this time, even though the prices for Rolex has gone up by 6%. The Asian market and increased demand. The demand for luxury watches like Rolex is going up because more people in places like China and India are getting richer and have more money to spend. Rolex's plan to make more watches to meet this demand is expected to make it even more popular. The recent drop in Rolex prices happened because there was a bubble where some people were buying Rolex watches expecting to make tons of money, but that didn't work out, so the prices are adjusting. Rolex strategy. Rolex is looking ahead and has a plan to make more watches and sell more of them. They're building new places to make watches and ramping up production because they know more people want to buy their watches. They're also focusing on getting more popular in Asia, as they think there's a big opportunity for luxury watches over there. Even with all these changes in the market, getting a Rolex for yourself is still a good idea. Rolex is working on changing its strategy to fit the new demand and make the most of opportunities, especially in Asia. And this wraps up this video for today. Thank you for watching, and feel free to comment down below your thoughts regarding this video. And to stay updated with our latest videos, feel free to like and subscribe to Luxury Focus. That's all for now. See you again at the next one.